When it comes to LA's hottest clubs, fame is the ultimate VIP pass. Star power can put celebrities on the top of any list.
I definitely think the Hollywood nightlife is run by young Hollywood.
America tells these stars that they can drink in a bar because they're on television or they're on a screen. Wake up. There's nothing shocking that any one of these actors are in rehab.
For one young actress, stardom gave her free reign in Hollywood, but at a price. Our #1 story, Lindsay Lohan, too much, too soon.
I'm gonna continue doing movies, but I'm gonna be a normal kid for a while.
Lindsay Lohan has been a star since the age of 11, with roles in Disney films like The Parent Trap and Freaky Friday. By the time she was in her late teens, Lindsay was a fixture on the Hollywood party scene.
Lindsay Lohan, all she has to do is pick up the phone and call a club, and she's not only in, but she's got the best table.
In 2006, the 19-year-old was shooting the film Georgia Rule, but there was some friction on the set.
She was late a couple of times and I got mad at her and I said, "Get your ass on the set."
When Lindsay called in sick to work, the film's producer, James Robinson, put his foot down.
We got a real problem. We can't shoot tomorrow if Lindsay's not on set. I'm not going to lose $255,000 because that's what our cost was per day for that film. So I sat down and wrote a letter.
In that famous letter, Robinson chastised Lindsay for her, quote, all-night partying. Although Lohan claimed her absence was due to exhaustion, the letter seemed to work.
She was there the next day, on time, and every day thereafter.
After the film wrapped, Lindsay was seen hitting the clubs again. But according to published reports, after an all-night party at the Golden Globes, Lindsay decided she needed help. The actress checked into rehab.
You know, at 20 years old, I'm so proud of her for doing what she did and reeling it in and just taking care of herself.
In January of 2007, Lindsay entered Wonderland Treatment Center, located in the Hollywood Hills.
I love Hollywood. I couldn't think of a better place for a treatment program. It's a show business town. So here we treat actors, we treat directors.
But for patients like Lindsay, entering treatment can be unsettling.
When a client and family come up here, they're going to come in through our gate filled with anxiety and fear. They're going to come winding up their way to this top, park their car, get out and look at this house and wonder, what am I getting myself into?
Patients like Lindsay are provided with their own suites and a private chef who specially prepares their meals.
There's dietary needs, and there's the vegans, and there's the non-vegans, and no dairy, and you kind of have to be ready to do anything at any moment's notice.
The cost of Wonderland's program runs about $40,000 a month.
If somebody calls and can't afford that $40,000, we'll definitely work with them. We're here to help as many people as possible.
Lindsay left Wonderland after a month-long stay. According to Lohan, she also attended AA meetings to maintain her sobriety. But Lohan's clubbing made headlines again when the actress wrecked her car Memorial Day weekend 2007.
We begin with this big breaking story. Lindsay Lohan arrested after a night out on the town ends in a violent crash and charges of driving under the influence.
The preliminary investigation indicates Ms. Lohan lost control of her vehicle. The vehicle subsequently struck the curb north of Sunset at Foothill Road.
According to police, Lindsay then left the scene and was taken by a friend to be treated for minor injuries.
Officers tracked Ms. Lohan to the local hospital where she was ultimately placed under arrest for 23-152 AVC, driving under the influence.
48 hours later, the paparazzi captured photos of Lohan apparently passed out in the front seat of a friend's car. The following day, Lindsay checked into Promises Rehab Center in Malibu. In July of 2007, Lindsay completed a 6-week program. According to Lindsay's reps, the young star chose to wear an alcohol monitoring bracelet so there would be no question as to her sobriety. On July 19th, Lohan was formally booked on misdemeanor charges of driving under the influence and hit and run, stemming from a Memorial Day car crash. The actress was released on $30,000 bail. But just 5 days later, Lindsay was in trouble again. According to police, in the early morning hours of July 24th, a 911 call was made by the mother of Lohan's former assistant. The woman claimed that she was being chased in her car by Lindsay. The police responded and pulled the actress over.
They had her do a field sobriety test, which she did not pass. Based on that, they brought her here to the station where she completed a blood alcohol test, which came back to a 0.12 and a 0.13%, which is over the 0.08% legal limit. So she was charged with driving under the influence. During the booking search, we also found a small amount of cocaine in her pocket, so she was also charged with possession of a controlled substance.
Lindsay posted bail and was released 4 hours later. In a press release, Lohan's lawyer stated that Lindsay had relapsed and was receiving medical attention. Lindsay has not entered a formal plea, but in an email to a media outlet, the 21-year-old stated she was innocent and that the drugs were not hers. If convicted on both DUI charges, Lindsay could face up to 18 months in prison. No matter who you are, overcoming personal obstacles is never easy. But those who have been through recovery know, while there are challenges, there is also hope.
The longer you stay clean and the longer you work recovery, it's amazing. It's amazing how it all works.